Hi, everyone. I'm Gabe, and this is Emma, and we are here today with the amazing founder and CEO of Tilt, Jen Henderson. And today we are going to talk about visibility and customization and leave management. And let's dive right in. Jen, would love to know kind of what your thoughts are on how involved HR teams should be in the leave process versus outsourcing or automating certain aspects of leave.
Yeah. My opinion, HR needs to be a partner with outsourcing leave of absence. And here's why. Number one, they are the cornerstone in their organization of employee resource center. So to 100% outsource something as emotional and complex as leave is not our recommendation, which is why we position ourselves at Tilt as partners or extensions of the HR team. Now, the configuration of that partnership, I believe, is critical. Where HR is not serving their best superpower is in the administration of the complexities of a leave. What do you pay? When do you pay it? What are the benefits that this person qualifies for? When? What is what we call a leave map for this individual? What are the documents required, etc.? That is not the best use of their time or talents. That is where technology and the outsourcing component of a leave makes the most sense. Where the partnership element on the other side, or what I would say the HR is best positioned to be the owner of in a leave of absence, is, again, being that epicenter for the employee. They know their organization. They know the team that that person is a part of. They know the leader that that person reports to. And all of those nuances we don't typically know at Tilt as an organization and as an extension of that team. So we're not best suited to engage in those conversations or help the employee navigate that part of it. When we are working in lockstep of those two zones of responsibility with an HR team, it's a thing of dreams because the employee feels completely supported on the practical, what do I need to know? When do I need to do it? What's on my to-do plate? What's on my HR team's to-do plate, etc. And hey, I don't really know how my peer is going to feel about this. Can you help me think through the conversation? And how can I make sure that I'm just not dumping a bunch of work on their plate while I'm gone? I don't want them to resent me. That's perfect for HR. And that's exactly where we want to empower them to spend their time and energy in a leave of absence.
Along those same lines, I feel like Tilt does a really good job in prioritizing visibility for HR in our platform and our product. How important is that part of everything in this process of, while these administrative tasks aren't worth my time, I still need to be able to see it happening.
Yes. That's a great question. We've learned so much throughout the years as to how much is too much, how much is not enough, how to present the information, the data, where to make it static or where to make it configurable. All of those components of how we are intending to transparently share what is appropriate for the specific user in Tilt is critical. And again, we've learned so much. So where we don't want to allow for the configuration or the customization is in the application of the leave law. That's not really something that our HR team needs to be thinking about whether or not they want to apply it because they don't really have a choice. Where it does make sense for them to have not only the visibility, but configurability could be even down to the nomenclature of the organization. What do you call your teammates? At Tilt, we call them tilters. Do you call them peers? Do you call them Starbuckians in my past life? It's unique to you. So that makes a ton of sense to be able to configure. But the bottom line is the visibility and confidence in explainability of the data has become, I would say, one of the top 3 most requested and most impactful components of how we built out Tilt. It is extremely intuitive from an interface standpoint. It is built with an overlay, again, of that explainability. So if you want to know what was the math that went into this pay calculation, you can know that. We're going to absolutely share that with you so that you can do your own verification if you want. Or you know what, you can just print out the payroll report and go about your day. So allowing that configurability, customization, and unique to you to the organization is pretty damn important.
Yeah, makes sense. And, we're talking about kind of how HR has visibility into their own organization. We as Tilt, if we're managing their leaves, have visibility into all the elements of leave, but in the middle is sort of the employee. And how do you say like Tilt kind of balances the okay, we want to automate all these tasks. We want to give HR the visibility into everything that's going on, but there's still the human component.
Yeah.
and it requires a level of, human connection that maybe just an automated like system wouldn't be able to provide.
Yeah. I love so much our technology team and our product team talks very often about how do we build empathy through our tech. They're literally trying to codify empathy in how an employee is interacting with our product going on a leave of absence. So I think it starts with the intent. Like, what is our design team thinking when they are putting a certain UI element in a new feature that we're developing? And then from there, it's a balance between simplicity, because again, we don't believe in jargon. We don't believe we should talk at people. We believe we should make it very simple and digestible and easy to understand. And for the employee more than anyone, any one of the users that interacts with our interface, we want them to get just what they need. They don't need the 14 different ways that we've sliced a particular part of their leave plan. They just need simply to know what they need to do and why they need to do it. If they want more information, which I will say happens very rarely, we've now done this tens of thousands of times and can confidently say employees want simple, want quick, want easy to understand, digestible information so that they can go about whatever it is that they're navigating on a leave. But if they do want more information, that's what our incredible leave success team is in place for. And that's what the empathy warriors that we call internally are positioned to be able to support in terms of, you know what, I need that next layer of information. Or, you know what, I just want to go through this slowly with a person, help me out. It might be my first leave. It might be my first baby. It might be any number of things that just have that additional urge to have more information. And that's where our leave success team steps in.
That makes sense.
How do you see Tilt empowering an HR person or HR team as opposed to, I think sometimes a personal barrier to entry is this will replace me, or the fear of, no, this can't take my job because then what will I do?
Yeah. Yeah. If we could have a slogan, maybe we should consider this. I'll talk to my brilliant marketing team. That was something like, we are in business to make HR the hero of their company. That would be a true representation of how we're working to be an extension or a partner of our HR teams. What we do and how we do it to have that outcome of making HR the hero of the day is very specifically doing the back end administrative heavy lift, legally burdensome component of a leave of absence so that we can put them into the spotlight of the human to human interaction that makes them shine. And we don't want any credit. We happily will sit in the back room and crunch the numbers and do the leave construction based on the leave compliance laws and give them all the information, all the data, all the reporting, all the direction that they need to do their job to the best of their ability. They win, we win. It is true as can be in terms of why we do what we do and how we position the product to be their tool to do their job better and more efficiently and more accurately than they ever have before as it relates to leave of absence.
So as we talk about this in particular, and we think about, life before for HR, life before these technology solutions like Tilt came into their lives, and where maybe their world is headed, how do you view the importance of technology sort of adapting with those times or scaling as a company grows, like helping to push organizations forward?
Well, only 13 states have passed paid leave legislation, and as of today, there are 50 states in the union. Who knows what may come in the future. That is a lot more legislation to go. And there's no way, no how, no possibility of that train slowing down. This isn't an if, it's just a when. So if I put myself in the shoes of an HR rep today, I see what's coming. There's no hiding it. It's very clear what the continued legislation complexity is going to bring. So it's really all about then, what is your personal situation as that HR rep of whatever company you're representing? What is going to be your impetus? Is it employee size? Is it that you've got employees in new states at an increasing rate? Is it that you got to leave wrong and you got yourself in some legal hot water and you sure as hell never want to be in that position again? Whatever that unique to you impetus is, I would advocate you define that ahead of time and be on the offensive, not the defensive, because the defensive of getting leave wrong is really painful. It's really painful. We've heard many, many, many horror stories about that. So I would just have that HR rep gut check that. And then from there, it's all about constructing the business case. It's constructing the team around you to help support the administration of that. But leave is not going away. People aren't going to stop having babies. People aren't going to stop breaking legs. Unfortunately, people are never going to stop losing loved ones. So if you accept that reality and you accept the tailwinds of this legislation, all roads lead to, there will be a tipping point. You just need to determine what that's going to be for you.